Please welcome Toastmaster Hiba Raees. And the title of her tall tale is That Moment. Judges,
That moment. This is an interesting tall tale, this is a tall tale. Interesting fact is that it is a completely truth and a real tale. It happened on a Saturday afternoon in January 2014. I was sitting in my room. I was shocked when I heard a sudden voice, "Khamoshi se niche dekho." In anguish, I turned my face. I was working on my laptop on my study desk. I saw two horrifying men, one of them pointing a gun towards me. I got horrified and became numb for a while. I was upstairs in my bedroom where no man except my family members or my father could enter, but only after a knock. Following their instructions, I started walking down the stairs to the ground floor of our house. We entered the dining room where I saw the sitting room where I saw my horrified parents, my maid Nazira, the TV technician, and our electrician sitting like hostages. In the dining room, a third dacoit was in kurta shalwar was pointing a gun towards the hostages, my parents and all. And then there were 3 people inside the house, and it appeared that there were more people outside. Immediately, they told us to move out of the dining room to the guest room. In the guest room, we all sat on the bed, and they had completely tied our hands with a bed sheet. Before sitting down, I was in such a state of panic and in such a state of shock that I had thrown a metal tissue box on one of them. This created a chaos for my mother and my father as well. My mother and Amma Nazira screamed. The TV technician and the electrician who were visiting us for repair work also shouted. I saw one of the dacoits came towards me and slapped me on my face with full force. My mother pulled me towards her and asked me to recite Ayatul Kursi. Eventually, the dacoits tore the bed sheet and tied all of our hands, as mentioned earlier. The dacoits also took my father upstairs, where they asked him to surrender whatever was there in the house in the form of cash or jewelry and all. The other men kept an eye on us and warned us to keep our gazes and heads low. I stopped struggling and gradually calmed down. They came down after 5 to 6 minutes, took all the cash that they could. Before leaving, they warned us that we should not report to the police, otherwise if they got to find out, they would blow our house with a grenade. It took us a while, a few weeks to eventually get over this phase, and with the help of our neighbors and some of our relatives who came to inquire about our well-being and as the story of the incident moved forward. My family remained traumatized for weeks, and as of today, I make sure that the bolt in our gate remains intact all the time, which after the incident, when we analyzed that there was a tiny gap between the electric lock and the door, which perhaps the dacoit used to open with the help of our home easily during the daylight.